Hey there. Oh, here we go. Expand that. I just wanted to talk a little bit about comparison. A lot of people have always, I see it over and over again about people say, stop comparing. And I get what they're like, stop comparing yourself to others. And I get where they're coming from. But the problem with when we say stop comparing is like we don't give ourselves any other way to do the thing. So it's like telling your kid to stop picking on their sibling, right? Like the best way we can actually help somebody to stop doing something is to redirect them. So instead of saying stop comparing, right, which it's like don't think about a pink elephant, like our brain, that's the thing our brain will do, like stop comparing yourself, and then we're like go into this whole shame thing about like we shouldn't compare ourselves to other. And I just want to say that comparison to others is totally normal, natural human tendency. We do it because it places us um, in this like hierarchy of people, and not that that's good or bad, but it is what it is. And so we are all comparing. It's how our brain works. We have to look around and say, is this a good situation? Is this a bad situation? And am I doing okay? Am I not doing okay? And we use that comparison because our brain likes to organize things. It likes to predict things. It likes to do those things. And so just to say, stop comparing yourself to others, it doesn't really work. So I would just like, I want to get into this place and say there's nothing wrong with you if you're comparing yourself to others. I do it. I think everybody does it. I'm sure there's probably maybe some amazing people who don't do it. But I think even it's for the most part, it's part of the human condition. So just giving yourself some grace for that and allowing yourself to say, yes, I am comparing myself to others. Now, here is what we can actually do with that instead of just being like, it means that I'm a bad person. The way we compare is actually what's more important than to just say, stop comparing yourself. So you could also, like, it's what you're making that comparison mean. Are you making it mean I'm better than them or that I am worse than them? Okay, so I'll just give this from my business entrepreneurs who are comparing themselves to others. So they'll look at their businesses and they'll say, they're doing so much better than me. Why can't I get it? Blah, 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 right? Like they see the sales that people are making, all those types of things, and they start to compare themselves. First of all, realizing like, oh, I am comparing myself. That is the first step. That awareness is what's super important, right? That when we're in that awareness, then we get to decide what we want to make that comparison mean. So that's where we can take it from like, I'm doing terrible, I should probably just quit, or I'm not good enough, or I'm never going to get this. We can take those things and be like, oh, I'm comparing myself. Like we take a step back, we're the scientists looking inside of our lives, and we look at that and we say, actually, is that what it really means? We can take that comparison and we say, we can change the interpretation of it, right? Because what we have is we just have a set of data. We've seen somebody posting up their sales or whatever the thing is that they're posting online, saying how great they're doing. And then our brain interprets that and it says, I'm doing terrible, I should quit, I'm never going to get this, all those things, right? But we can interpret the data in a different way. And that's what will make the difference. Because if we're interpreting it as like, I'm not going to get this, I should just give up, that is going to lead to a different set of actions and results than if we look at that data, the same exact data that we're receiving from Facebook or from wherever we're finding this, somebody's words, somebody said something to us, whatever. We can take that and we can interpret it in a different way that will lead to a different set of feelings, actions, and results. So I want to interpret. We'll go back to the same example. Somebody's sold, I don't know, they have all their shipping tickets coming off, right? Like this is something, if people are like, what are you talking about? This is something that happens in the entrepreneurial world where people are doing e-commerce and they're selling stuff. They'll print off their shipping tickets and show you like how many things they've shipped. Anyways, and so we can look at that and we can interpret it as, I'm never going to get it. Or we can interpret it as, oh, they're doing amazing. Look what it means I can do too, right? We have to change that interpretation. Comparison isn't the problem. Comparison is fine. We just have to realize what we're making the comparison on and how we're interpreting it. So we can interpret it in a lot of different ways. So this goes for anybody's life, right? So say keeping up with the Joneses, right? We look at somebody's life, they have the perfect marriage, perfect kids, perfect house, they have all the money, they go on the vacations, blah, 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 blah. Right? But what we really, and so we think, therefore, what do we make that mean? That's a set of data. We look at those data points, and then we interpret it and make it mean like they're so much better than me. I can't do this. My life's a mess, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as we notice we're comparing, we can say, oh, I'm comparing. Like we call it out. Like it's literally just like calling it out. I can't think of a better word right this moment. We call it out. We're like, oh, I'm comparing. I'm making it mean this. And then if we make it mean that, then there's that whole set of feelings that come after it. So we can interpret it in a different way. And there's so many different ways. We could say, hey, look what's possible. Or we could say, I really don't know what's happening in their life. Like, just because what they're showing on the outside doesn't mean that that's what's happening on the inside. There's all these different ways that we can stop. So just realizing, like, to just say, stop comparing, it's not going to happen. We're a human, and that's how brain works. Our brains want to organize things. They want to put things in nice little neat boxes, and that says that you're better, you're worse, whatever. And the same thing goes if you think that you're better than somebody and you want to stop that, right? Like you can say, oh, look at me comparing. I actually don't know what's happening. Or what does this make this mean? Maybe it means something about their past, or maybe it means that we can look at it from all different kinds of ways. There's so many different ways to interpret the data that's actually coming into us. So we're going to compare, but we're going to call it out. And we're going to say, oh, I'm comparing again. And then that's where we're going to we can shake it off, whatever we got to do, and reinterpret the data in a way that will serve you. In a way that will serve you. So if you're interpreting the data to make it mean that I'm not enough, I'm not doing good enough, I'm never going to get it, that does not serve you. It never will serve you, right? It's like if my kids were doing math and they said, I'm never going to get this. It's just not true. They will get it. It might take them some time. It might take them more time than they want it to take, but we can all get it. So it's the same idea, right? Like we can interpret it any way we want to. And if we're using it for us or we're using it against us. So I'm comparing, I see myself comparing myself to somebody else who I think is doing better than me. And I notice that, and I might notice my thoughts. I might notice my feeling that I feel less than, or I feel like defeated, right? I might notice that I'm not taking any actions towards my business or towards my goals or towards my health. And then that's where I can step and be like, oh, that's me comparing. Good to know. Now, how would I like to interpret that will work for me? So let's take same general life. I look at somebody else's life and I say, oh my gosh, their life is amazing, blah, 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 blah. And I notice that I'm feeling bad about their life, right? Because I'm feeling bad about my life, right? Then I can say, oh, actually, what do I want to make this mean that will be more useful? How do I want to feel about me? How do I want to feel about them? And what actions do I want to take about it? So, for instance, I could say somebody has a great relationship with their kids, right? And I want to create that great relationship instead of being like, oh my gosh, their life's so much better than me and they have such a great relationship with their kids, period, right? Then we can take it and say, okay, they have that and I want that too. It means it's possible. Or my kids are different than their kids and our relationship is going to look different, right? Or maybe the relationship I want is going to take more work than it's taking for them. And it's not fair. This is where people get it. It's not fair. Life is not fair. That same statement that your parents told you when you were a kid, life is not fair. It is true. Life is not fair. And that's okay. It's different. Life isn't fair. It's different. So just because somebody has a great relationship doesn't mean that you can't have it. It doesn't mean that it can't be taught. Doesn't mean that you can't learn those skills. Doesn't mean that you can't go to therapy and get that help or get coaching and get that help. It doesn't mean any of those things. You just get to decide, is this working for me? Are my thoughts working for me? Are they putting me on trajectory to get the thoughts, feelings, actions, results that I want? And if they're not, then that's just when we have to reinterpret the data to work for us so that we can get those results. And it's okay, right? So this is what I just want you to stop. If you are comparing yourself, just stop beating yourself up about it. It happens. We have normal human brains. Way to go. Way to be human. So, but now we just have to be aware that that is something that happens, and then we get to decide what we want to do with that. Okay? So we notice ourselves comparing, notice the feelings it brings, whatever, and be like, oh, that's comparison. Okay, there's that. That's one option. And now how do I want to interpret this data? So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, hop on a call with me. I put a link to my booking page in the or I don't think it's in the description or something. So you just go on there, you schedule a one-on-one call with me. It's super easy and fun. We just talk about like what you're working on, where you want to go. It's basically where you're at now, where you want to go, and then how to bridge the gap. And so I help you get to where you want to go faster, right? You can look and see those things, and that's what I do, and it's super fun. There's no commitment. If you do want to work with me, that's always an option as well, and you can figure that out by coming and joining and doing that with me. So you can check out my website, my Facebook page, see all the stuff. I have a YouTube channel now. I have a podcast. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff on there, but you can check those out as well. So if you have questions, you can just message me. I love helping people, and I love helping them overcome these blocks and, unlock their potential. And like I said, I work with people who are starting businesses, people who already have businesses that want to grow their businesses. I work with people who want to start exercise routines, start eating healthier. I work with people that want to stop hating their bodies and just want to have acceptance of their bodies, who want to love themselves. I work with people that, I'm like, who else do I help? I help, I talked about entrepreneurs, health, relationships, people that want to improve their relationships with their children, improve their relationship with themselves, in-laws, how to deal with those different things, setting boundaries, all those kinds of fun things. Especially right now, when it comes to relationships, holidays is a kind of a big deal. So definitely if you're struggling in any of that, I can help you with that. Like I said, just click the link, and I will see you guys around. Talk to you later. Bye.